So the crown jewel of selling a product on Amazon is achieving the Amazon bestseller badge. But there's a problem, and it's a pretty big one. It's that it's really difficult to get an Amazon's bestseller badge. And more so than that, not a lot of people talk about how to get it, and nowhere on the internet could I find somebody that exposed an actual product, an actual case study, and what it meant before and after achieving a bestseller badge. This video is going to get into exactly that. What is the bestseller badge? How do you get it? And a real life case study exactly breaking down what happened and what the process was to achieve it. If you're an Amazon seller, this is stuff you're not going to see anywhere else. So buckle in and let's go. What is up, guys? Welcome to Heist. This is the YouTube channel where we take the gloves off, we throw haymakers, we drop value bombs for people looking to sell on Amazon or to take their brands and products to the next level on Amazon. And in this video, we're going to get into a really elusive, secretive topic, which is the Amazon bestseller badge. So most people that know the Amazon platform know that if you can achieve a bestseller badge for a category, everything else gets easy and you make a whackload of sales and a whackload of money. Your conversion rate dramatically goes up, both organically as well as in pay-per-click. Your organic ranking skyrockets across a lot of keywords. Your sales velocity increases. It's harder to compete against you. You get a competitive moat, and your BSR or bestseller ranking dramatically goes down, which is a good thing on the Amazon platform. So what is the bestseller badge and how do you get it? Well, first of all, let's just talk about the difference between an Amazon's Choice badge and a bestseller badge. So an Amazon's Choice badge is something that shows up in organic search. It's basically an embedded validation. Amazon vouches for this product. Now, the thing about an Amazon's Choice badge, as good as it is it only exists on a single keyword or search term. So while it's fantastic, you have to accumulate lots of Amazon's Choice badges across lots of keywords to have a dramatic impact on your sales velocity, conversion rate, and all those things we talked about. Now, the bestseller badge, on the other hand, is something that goes with you anytime a customer sees your product. And it follows your listing everywhere a customer can see it. And that's what's so powerful about this thing. Every single view or session on your product is going to see this bestseller badge. But because it's so coveted, it's really difficult to get, and it's frankly a knife fight once you have it to actually keep it. So what is the criteria that goes into a bestseller badge? The best way to think about it, because we don't know all of Amazon's algorithms, is that the product that has the highest sales velocity for a particular category or search node is going to get the bestseller badge for that category and search node. So it comes down to who can sell the most. Typically what you're going to see with bestseller badges is it's folks that have the lowest price or really competitive price. It's folks that have built out a product for years and years and accumulated a whack load of reviews, or it's a product that has some kind of IP protection, meaning that not a lot of other sellers can sell that product because they've got a patent, or it's a really restricted category and difficult to get into. Let's talk about this case study. It's all well and good to talk theoretically about what is a bestseller badge and how do you get it and all this stuff, but what does it actually mean in the real world? And I don't see anybody talking about this stuff. So guess what? We had a product within one of my brands that achieved a bestseller badge. We're going to break down a blow-by-blow, step-by-step analysis of what this looked like in the data, and then we're going to talk about how we actually achieved it. So this particular case study, and I guess one of the cool things about having this YouTube channel here for a couple years, is I actually broke down when we launched this product and went from $0 to $35,000 in 1 month, blow by blow. I'm going to leave a link up above and down below if you want to check that out after this video. We've documented how this product was actually launched. But looking at the revenue performance of this thing, in 2020, we had just shy of $200,000 in sales, so $197,000 in sales, and just north of $59,000 in profit. So that was a pretty awesome year, secured organic ranking really quickly, and we were off to the races. But frankly, we got our butts kicked. There was a competitor that was just better than us. They came out, they added a lot of variants really quickly. They took Q4 of that year, which is it's a Q4, Q1 centric product. They absolutely killed it. So we went from doing anywhere from 35 to I think 50,000 a month down to about $10,000 to $20,000 a month. So that really started happening the back half of 2021. So it was a relatively dry year. We had a little bit more in sales because it had a full year run rate. So it was $207,000 in sales, but the profitability was cut in almost half. So we only did $31,000 in profits, because when you lose that organic rank, you have to rely a lot more on pay-per-click. You have to adjust your price and your margins erode. That story continued into 2022. So we didn't have the best Q4 with this product. Q1, which we really usually would light it up, was a little bit softer than normal, and that sales performance was down. So year to date between January and this is like the first week in August, this product's done done $162,000 in revenue year to date, but only $8,000 in profit, which was kind of a bummer. So we had to turn things around. So we put our thinking caps on, we talked amongst me and my team, and we thought about ways that we could revive this thing. And luckily we were actually able to do some really unique strategies to secure the bestseller badge. And the trajectory on this thing on the back half of this year looks pretty stinking good. So let's look from April onwards in terms of some of the data on this product. One of the things that I institute into my business is a tool called Metrics from FBA Excel, which we basically track stats every single day, including keyword ranking, performance, sessions, conversion rates, units sold, actual sales dollars, BSR, any stat that you care about, we track it every single day for every single product. And why we do this is for situations like this where we can diagnose changes in a particular product, we can test new strategies, test new price points, test new pay-per-click, and see what the impact is on that daily performance over time. So if we look at April, it was kind of, again, our standard run rate of, I don't know, like $10,000 to $18,000 a month. You can see our average daily sales during that period was $674. We had a conversion rate of 12.6% overall on organic and 12.1% on pay-per-click. We did do something here between 418 and 424, which you can see the 7-day deal. So you can see in green when those orders go up. Again, cool part of tracking. We didn't have the full data. We actually lost 10 days for some reason for May, but you can see May pretty similar, right? $705 in actual daily sales on average with a higher conversion rate of 16.8. I think we were testing some images and some new strategies there on conversion rate. June was pretty much nothing special, running the month out. Now this is when we did some different stuff and actually got a bestseller badge when you actually look to July and the first part here in August. So July, the first half of the month up to about 7-11, not a whole lot changed. We did some very special pricing for Prime Day to get the Prime Day badge. We'll get into some Prime Day strategy later on, so hit subscribe. But you can see we dramatically jumped up. We were doing north of $4,000 a day on Prime Day, which was pretty stinking awesome. And then riding that sales velocity, that lower BSR, we basically curtailed into 7/17, which is the first day that we actually secured the bestseller badge. We also did something really unique coming out of that enabled us to get that. But you can see that once we got the bestseller badge, before when we were doing like $600-700 a day, we were doing north of $1,000 a day, sometimes north of $1,300 a day, pretty consistently. And then you can see in the first part of August, very similar story. So if we look at a summary of this thing, we can kind of look at the non-Prime Day deal, the non-7-day deal data, just the standard performance of this product against that when we had an actual bestseller badge. What we basically see is some pretty dramatic differences. So the average sales per day was $15 before the bestseller badge. It was double that when we actually achieved the bestseller badge. So a little north of 100% improvement there. From a sales standpoint, we went from $593 a day to $1,143 a day. So again, a 93% increase in sales just by having that bestseller badge. We didn't quite double the number of sessions or visits to listing. There was only 77% growth on that. But the reason we were able to double sales is when you get that bestseller badge, it's the best social proof you can have for both converting on organic listings as well as on pay-per-click. So you can see our conversion rate went from an average of 13.8% before the badge to 15.6 after, or a 13% increase in conversion. And then this is really huge to save money. The pay-per-click conversion rate went from 13.1 to 15.8. So a 21% improvement on conversion rate on actual pay-per-click conversions. The other benefit of that is you also get lower cost per clicks when you've got a better conversion rate. So you're absolutely dramatically improving the margin on pay-per-click. So if we're just gonna compare the before and after on a daily basis, and we were to annualize that out over 365 days, if we didn't have the bestseller badge, we can expect to do about $216,000 in sales for the year. But with the bestseller badge, even though we might need to get aggressive on pricing and do some different things to get the badge, it's $417 or north of $200,000 more in sales just by having the bestseller badge. So this is a real world example, guys. This is a daily blow by blow account of what happened before and what happened after. So how did we do it? Again, the core basis of a bestseller badge is that there's only one per category, and it's generally speaking going to be the lowest bestseller rank or BSR, and or the one that has the best sales velocity. So it's typically lowest price, best reviews, people that are churning over a lot of product, and if they're doing that better than everybody else for that category node, they get the bestseller badge. What we did though, because this was a much larger category, so let's just imagine that we're selling tennis racket kit that has like a bag, a tennis racket, and balls. If I wanted to win the tennis racket category under sports and outdoors, I'm going against big name brands, high-selling foreign sellers that have really cheap rackets. It would take a crap load of sales to win a bestseller badge for the tennis racket category and subcategory. But say, for example, we were to look at the tennis accessories category, which is one that's niched down. There's way less people that are in that category node, way more specific accessories, and the key point is you don't need the same sales velocity or a lower BSR than what you would need to sell tennis rackets to achieve that. And that's exactly what we did in this case. We looked at a very relevant subcategory that was niched down from the one that we were in before. We changed that category such that we were basically a bigger fish swimming in a smaller pond. And because of that, we had a higher sales velocity, a lower BSR than everybody else that was in that new category pond. And as a result, we got a bestseller badge. But what's really, really cool about this is even for that larger category where we show up on organic, where we do pay-per-click, we still get that bestseller badge as though we were a bestseller for tennis rackets as an example. So because it follows through regardless of how customers find you, regardless of the keyword, there's a tremendous benefit even if you've got a smaller category bestseller badge. Now here's a key point. A lot of people use this hack to go into a completely irrelevant category that's really small, that's not really relevant to your product. First of all, this is against Amazon's terms of service and it can be flagged as a listing violation, and oftentimes your competitors will rat you out on this. So I definitely don't recommend taking this approach to the limit and going into a product category that's not relevant to your product. The other thing is that Amazon tends to index and assign relevance to your product based on the search node that you're in. So if you do this and you put it into an erroneous category, you could also dramatically reduce the benefit of your listing optimization and the relevance of the keywords that actually do describe your product and that do matter. But if you can look at those subtle niches down on those category nodes and make a change, you can, like in our example here, get a bestseller badge. Now, oftentimes that's not enough. You still need to instigate sales velocity. You still need to have the inventory to be able to sell through. So you can look at doing things like 7-day deals, Prime Day deals, lightning deals, Sunday. Those spikes in sales velocity, if you get those going for a couple days and you've kind of categorized down like we talked about here, can really help in your favor for getting the bestseller badge. And I think that the Prime Day deal in advance of this category change really helped us achieve that bestseller badge. So how do you actually go about changing a category? Again, you want to find one that's relevant, you want to find one that's niched down, but it still needs to describe your product so that you don't lose that relevancy correlation with Amazon. So it's pretty simple to do. This isn't something that you actually do with flat files. Flat files are usually pretty awesome for making a lot of changes to a listing. When it comes to changing categories, flat files is not the way to go. So I've got an SOP here that breaks this down. If you click the link down below, I'll give you access to this in addition to a calculator I'm going to talk about here in a second. But basically to change it's really simple. You log into your Seller Central account. Step one, you click on the help in the top right. That's going to open up your help section. You want to scroll to the bottom and go to need more help. Click on the get support button there. It's going to open up the help page. Go to selling on Amazon. Once you go to that one, it's going to open up a little box for you to type in your issue. You basically want to describe to the Seller Central team here why you are changing the category. And what you want to do is really tie this to the customer experience. So just say our product is much more relevant for this category, subcategory, and search node. It's going to be more relevant for customers, and the right customers are going to find our product. You make it about the customer, that really bodes in your favor, so use language like that. You click continue, and then it's going to open up a confirm your issue. It should come up with a change a product category. Click that toggle and hit next. Once you do that, you basically need to find and or enter your ASIN, and then it's going to open up catalog nodes, and you can select which category you actually want it to change. And then usually within about 24 hours, someone's going to review your case. If they agree with it, they'll change the node and you're off to the races. Now again, in addition to changing the category, which can help, sales velocity is a really big thing here too. And oftentimes, sad but true, the easiest way to increase your sales velocity is to either do a deal or to get more aggressive on your pricing. And you'll find that most bestseller badges are people that have a really competitive price because they get that sales velocity up. It's more about the volume than it is about the actual unit margins. But I realize that people are apprehensive to lower their price because it's like, I think I'm making less money. But I want to kind of highlight this calculator. Again, if you click the link down below, in addition to the SOPs, I'll give you access to this actual calculator so you can run it on your own. But I wanted to compare two different scenarios. So let's say that you're selling a product, it's $100 cost. The landed cost for you is $30. Amazon's referral fee in this case is 15% or $15. Costs FBA fees of $7 to ship it. In this case, your unit margin is $48. So what if I told you that to get a bestseller badge, you could really increase your sales velocity by reducing your price by 20%. So in this case, obviously you are making less unit margins, $31 versus $48. But what this calculator lets you do is it lets you enter in your current average daily sales for that particular particular product. And then based on the price change that you instituted in that table above, it will tell you basically how many more units a day you need to sell to get the same amount of net margins on a daily basis. But obviously when you lower your price, you can tend to see a lot more conversion, a lot more sales velocity, and that over time, if you sell the right amount of units, can actually equate to more contribution margin than you would at your current price. So what this is basically saying, when we enter 12 into the current sales, we would only need to sell 19 to make the same amount of money that we would have at the $100 price point. And oftentimes you can double the number of units that you sell in a day. So if you're able to double the number of units we were able to sell, we'd actually make $744 versus the $576. So when you're thinking about reducing price, getting aggressive with deals, pursuing the bestseller badge, look at it in concert. How much more daily net contribution margin am I going to get? What's my conversion rate benefit going to be? How much organic ranking on search terms that matter am I going to achieve? How much lower are my pay-per-click costs going to be? There's a lot of other tertiary benefits that may make sense to lower your price. So I just gotta say, if you dug this video, if you dig this channel, I've also got a deep dive elite level course called the FBA Blueprint. In addition to content like this, I've got north of 140 videos now that tells you how to take your Amazon business to the next level. And even in our pro program, if you want to schedule a call, we've got over 230 SOPs. That's really my brain into a searchable database as it relates to Amazon. We do monthly calls twice a month that are usually about an hour and a half with me. We've got a private mastermind Facebook community. It's literally, in my opinion, the most badass Amazon course out there. So if you dig this, if you've been curious about what I've got behind the scenes, check out the link below to the course. But I hope you dug this one. I have not personally seen a case study anywhere else on how to get a bestseller badge. I hope this illuminated some new information for you, gave you something to think about for achieving a bestseller badge in your Amazon business. We drop videos like this every single Monday, so if this is your first time here, hit subscribe. If you're already subscribed, go ahead and hit the notification bell. You'll get a notification on your phone or your laptop when we drop those new videos, so you're the first to find out about strategies, the first to execute on really cool things in your business. So until next time, guys, thanks for hanging out. Cheers.